Hey everyone, welcome to today's program. I'm Frank Oliver, your host with Wildlife Action. And on the next 3 episodes, we're going to share with you, our members and our friends and community, kind of an important project that we're currently in the middle of. It's called the Retch Restoration Project. As you know, as we all know, over the last few years we've suffered tremendously through hurricanes and flooding events and different things. Well, over the years, Retch has kind of taken a beating, not only here at Wildlife Action, but the whole community. And we are now in our, I would say, our final efforts in trying to get things back to where they once were. So what we're going to do over the next few episodes, we're going to share with you the projects that we've completed, the projects that we're working on, and the projects that we want to accomplish through not only our efforts, but your efforts as well by being part of our community and being part of our sponsors. We actually have a Wildlife Action fundraising event coming up February the 18th, and all the money raised from that project is going to come right here to Retch and get this place back up and ready for our summer camps, which starts in June of 2023. So over the next few months on the program here, we're going to show you what we've been working on, and hopefully you can be a part of it. We actually do have work days lined up where folks can come in from the community and volunteer their efforts, or if you have a specific interest or knowledge of something that you would like to be a part of, we'll give you all the contact information and show you what we're doing here at Wildlife Action to make our communities better for our kids and for the wildlife and the services that we offer for everyone. So stick around, we'll be right back here on Bunny's Tail, and we're going to show you the Retch Restoration Project. One big thank you I want to definitely do is thank Anderson Brothers Bank for everything you do for Wildlife Action. Not just Wildlife Action, our communities, our business leaders, and everyone that you impact. So Wildlife Action is making a difference in people's life, and thanks to Anderson Brothers Bank, we can continue to do that. Hey, welcome back. The first thing I wanted to share with everyone is you probably remember Hurricane Matthew, of course, in October of 2016. Lots of water, lots of flooding. It came up so quick, no one was kind of aware of it. It was a big event. However, the waters came and left and things, moved along. Well, Hurricane Florence came in September of 2018, I believe it was, and whatever it brought with it, it kind of left some things behind. I know here at Wildlife Action, between the stress and the strain of the flooding event from 2 years prior, and then the big flood that came with Hurricane Florence, and all the toxins and things that were in the water, we've lost a tremendous amount of trees. It's just been kind of sad when you look at a wildlife refuge and you're seeing all these trees behind you that you've had to cut, and all the trees that we're continuing to cut. So far, over this past season, we've taken out about 25 trees, and we got about 8 more to go. We're working with a great fella, Lance Williamson, out of Marlboro County, who's coming and doing a lot of donations, as far as his service to Wildlife Action, and plus, we're paying him as well to take care of some of these tree problems. But oaks, hardwoods, they've really been impacted. A lot of these pines, they've made it pretty good on these sand hills, but the oaks have had a really hard time. So as we're walking through, you're going to see lots of stumps, you're going to see lots of debris in the back, and fortunately nature can reclaim itself if people give it the opportunity to do so. Matter of fact, Retch Wildlife Refuge, back when we purchased it in 1985, we cleaned up 44 dump truck loads of trash and had to dredge the ponds and pull up washing machines and all kind of things over the years, where it had become almost a community dump. And now, as you will see, or if you haven't seen, I invite you to come out to see. It's just a great example of how nature can reclaim itself, and it's a beautiful property with a beautiful feel, and wildlife is abundant here. And so, although we got all these trees behind us, and we got all this damage, and we got things that we got to continue to work on, it will get better, and it will continue to get more and more beautiful. So, project number 1. Tree cutting. We've had to cut a tremendous amount of trees, and there's a lot of stumps here and there, but as we go along, we're replanting. We had a donation of a number of trees from a nursery, so not only are we able to put back some some of the trees we lost, but we're actually able to put some more beneficial type trees. You know, we got a number of fruit trees and magnolias and some oaks and things, you know, that we didn't have here before that we do have now. So that'll be fun, not only for the kids at camp, but it'll also be beneficial to the wildlife. And, you know, if you ever seen a fruit tree in bloom, it's really beautiful. So project number 1, tree restoration, and you'll see that as we go along the property throughout all this series of events. Well, one of my favorite spots that we've always had down here and we lost during the hurricanes was our obstacle course area. So we had an obstacle course out here that the kids used at camp, and they do everything, go through the tires, climb the walls, you know, do the zip line, do the whole little obstacle course. Well, we lost all that during the hurricanes, but as you see, we are getting it back and we're improving upon it, and we're going to put some more things out here too. So here on Birdhouse Road, which is the name of one of our nature trails, we've got birdhouses, you know, bird feeding stations set up with all different types of feeders, you know, suet feeders, peanut butter feeders, seed feeders, and all that. And one of the break-offs of Birdhouse Road Trail is our obstacle course. So fortunately for us, we're able to get it back in place. Thank goodness we got Mr. Ernest Cook come down here and, you know, kind of cleaned it back up for us, moved all the trails and trees. And unfortunately, you know, another loss of some wonderful trees, a lot of white oaks and swamp chestnut oaks, and some of the good ones that we had, we lost. But again, we're planting them back. We got our obstacle course opened, and this is going to be a really, really fun addition for Summer Camp 2023, where these kids get a chance to come back out and not only go back to the obstacle course we had, but have a new and improved obstacle course with more features and you know, more little adventures to go through. So here's our obstacle course, and we'll show you this end, and then we'll show you the other end where it comes out as well. Did you know that Wildlife Action's Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge is a designated state wild animal release site? So all these places, when houses are developed and Walmart's got to have a new parking lot and the trees are cut, or when you call someone like Tyler Wright, you know, to come do nuisance wildlife removal, those animals have to have a place to be. They have to have a place to go. So Fork Retch is one of the few wild animal release sites where people come in and are able to release animals that have been captured for nuisance or whatever the issues may be. So what we've done is we have opened up an area in the woodline here by Bullfrog Creek to where these animals, we have some supplemental feeding areas. We have our food plots, which is this will be, you know, planted in the spring, and we'll have cool season and warm season forage for the animals. We have different style feeders. You know, we have gravity feeders, we have corn feeders, we have barrel feeders where the animals can go in and, you know, feed around inside the barrel and be protected from birds of prey and, you know, other predators like that. So this little area here is a nice little place to where we're going to continue to develop and turn into supplemental feeding den sites as well as wildlife observation. So we're setting up, you know, kind of behind us back here on a wildlife observation area where you can come down here to Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge, sit in the blind, catch the wind the right way, be quiet, you know, and sit out here and enjoy nature and see what, you know, the good Lord has to offer out here with all the different animals. So you guys, this will be a project we're really looking forward to. It won't be completed this, you know, this winter, obviously, and I'm not sure it'll be completed by the spring. It's all according on funding and volunteer help and participation, but this is certainly a project that'll be worthwhile for not only the wildlife, but hopefully to get some kids down here and some adults to sit in this wildlife observation area and look and see all this cool stuff down here on Bullfrog Creek in the feeding areas. Pear trees, plum trees, you know, we got some nice white oaks, some sawtooth oaks here on both sides. They'll grow up, they'll get big, they'll produce, you know, lots of mass for the animals. And for all you deer hunters out there, you probably know, you sit there with a corn pile on one spot and some white oaks falling on the next, and they'll walk over that corn pile for those, you know, those natural white oaks. So this will be a place where we're looking forward to, and hope to get to show you a great episode one day right here at the food plot on Bullfrog Creek. So when you come to Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge, there is 1.5 miles of nature trails, 63 interpretive signs that identify special features on the property, as well as 8 learning stations. Now this particular place is an area that was just completely covered in with trees and debris. We had trash cans floated in from the Fork Retch community and all kinds of different things. And now, luckily, fortunately, we're able to open it back up as part of our restoration project. And what this will be is an outdoor learning classroom. We'll take this spot right here and we'll teach kids, bring them out here to teach them anything from the water watch class to the soil profiles, or maybe an arts and crafts type class. But they're out in the outdoors. They're unplugged from technology, no TVs, no cell phones, no radios, none of that during camps. And you come down here and you just get back to basics, building friendships, learning outdoor skills, environmental education, and team building activities. So this classroom right here is going to be called Sweet Bay Classroom because we're right underneath a nice sweet bay tree. And behind us we've got a number of bay trees and wax myrtles and oaks and hickories, so beautiful little spot that we're able to work to clean up and open back up. And Josh Page and Robert Page came down here with their skid steer, cleaned this area back up for us, pushed out the brush, cleaned up a bunch of debris, and it's going to be used as not only an outdoor classroom, but as the home base for our little Cougars tribe, one of our tribes at camp. We name all the kids groups based on their ages, and this particular one we're going to call the Cougars Home Base. So welcome to the new Cougars Home Base down here at Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge, and appreciate you guys, Josh and Robert Page coming down here and putting this thing together. And there's so many people you need to thank, so many sponsors, the program of Wildlife Action, Anderson Brothers Bank, and Marion Tire Service, and all those good guys who, help keep our communities going. Thanks for what y'all do. And next, I think we're going to move to the indoors for a moment and show you some of the improvement projects that we're looking to complete and looking to move forward to the next stage. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are here in the dining hall, which is a project that is actually nearly complete. We've got our floors redone. We've had to do some foundation work. This is an area, kind of our little section where we have, some mounts and different things here, that we do. But even during our rentals, sometimes folks, they'll kind of set up their little DJ booth right here, or sometimes the wedding cake if we have a wedding down here, because we do offer those type of events, weddings, corporate retreats, family reunions, church events, different things like that. But proud of the dining hall because this is one project that's nearly done. Now the one thing we could use your help on is here on the walls we like to show all the different divisions that represent wildlife action: hunting, fishing, education, and hunting, fishing, environment, and education. Yes, so out of those we like to have a representation of each, but what we are lacking are some quality prints for the wall. When the hurricane came, it was actually above these deer heads. The water was in here for 10 days in this building. We actually had to tear out all the walls. We lost a number of mounts. That's why some of these look a little bit rough, but we hated to just discard them if we could do something with them. Tear out the walls, pull out the insulation, do a 4-stage drying process, and able to put it back together. But we do need some nice mounts, some quality prints, some wildlife type prints and pictures to put on our walls. So if you have an interest in being a part of this project and helping Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge in our restoration project, that might be a simple way that you can help donate. So just give our office a call, Miss Lisa Belk, at 843-464-8473. Or go to our Facebook, it's part of this program. You can link right to it, and you can be a part of getting this dining hall completed to where it's ready to go again for educational purposes for the kids and the families of Wildlife Action. Well, our time has come to a conclusion here on our first segment of the Fork Retch Restoration Project. It really went by quickly and we didn't cover a whole lot because there's a lot to be covered. But here at the Fork Retch Wildlife Refuge, you know, there's 60 acres. About 5 acres are developed with 13 buildings, everything from outdoor classrooms to storage areas to lodging areas, dining halls, chapels, you know, the whole works. And most of those have to have some work done before we're really back to where we were before the hurricane events. So hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hope you learned something about Wildlife Action, and we're going to continue this series, and we'll put together a final episode kind of putting it all together, showing you the progress that we're making and you know, kind of where we're heading on this adventure. So appreciate you tuning in and appreciate your support of the program, of the network, of all of our sponsors, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below and, you know, tell us what you ask us any questions. Call our office again, 843-464-8473. Go to wildlifeaction.com or check us out right here on the Facebook, and you can see all the wonderful things that we're doing for kids in conservation here at Wildlife Action. So until next time, I'm Frank Oliver. We'll see you on the trail.